Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will give an introduction on arrays, and I plan we will have several videos on that because after introduction of this video, I will have 2 or 3 videos introduced about array methods, and I will have one more video which we are talking about how JavaScript actually implement arrays, which is array under the hood. Okay, now let's take a look at the first video, which is the basic one. Okay, what is array? First, array is not a new data type because in JavaScript we only have 8 data type, right? Which are undefined, none, number, boolean, string, big int, object, and symbol. Okay, total is 8. And array is not a new data type. Okay, array is an object, so array is object type. And as we know, I introduced the object before. Object can also to store a collection of multiple items under a single variable, as we listed here. Because we can have a student object and they have a first name, last name, age, which is a collection of multiple items. Array can do the same as object do, which is the array object enables storing a collection of multiple items under a single variable name. Like in the array, we can have a bunch of students' grade, like 90, 100, those, right? And array, the main thing about the array is it can store ordered items, which means when we add into the array and we use a numeric number to access them, and they have the order, okay, in JavaScript. And in this video, we will have I will cover 4 parts. The first one is I will show you how to create an array, which is 2 ways, and how to access elements in the array. We will have 2 ways. One is use the traditional bracket and square bracket notation. Then we will have another method called @. Okay, and the length property, we'll talk about it, and how to loop an array. Okay, now let's take a look at the first part. I will use Visual Studio Code. Let me bring my Visual Studio Code here, and here I will have one array intro.html. Okay, and here we have HTML. I can use this one, doesn't matter actually, because this one has a script. And here I can do is how to create an array. Const array1. Okay, you can do is use the class called a new array. Okay, and this one is not widely used. Okay, and we will talk about the new and the class in the future. Okay, don't worry about that. And this is the way. And after you do, you can use how to give the values for each of them for this array. Because now if you print, okay, like if we print AR1, you will see there's no elements in the array. Let's take a look at here, inspect, and console. You will see array is 0 because it's an object, and length is 0, and all the things is 0. I can do like this way. Yesterday I learned, right? And I'll put it this one on the left side, so I don't need to switch back and forth, right? Okay, and here I can do like this way. Then this one is the screen, and this one is I can do like a little bit like this way. Okay, and how to add the elements, you can use index, because when we use array, the last video when I will introduce how JavaScript implemented the array. Okay, and we use index to access them. Index in the array started with 0, so we use 0, which means assign the element to the first one, like we use A. Okay, and you will see the I will do like this way. The print out is different. Okay, you will see A, and if I add another one, array 1, for a second one will be B, like this way. Then you will have in the array, the length is 2, and you will have A and B, and you can see the elements in the array is ordered based on the index, and index started with 0. This is the first way, and it's not widely used. I never use that. Okay, another way we will use, very common, and is like we define an empty array. Okay, then you do like this way, ARR2 dot we can use like 0 equals miss. Okay, miss, and I will use ARR2 and 1 equals Xing. Okay, and CLG ARR2. Okay, you can do exactly same, and we will have 2. And for this way, and you can also have this is empty array. This is empty array, and you can also have a field array, which is like this way, ARR3 equals, you can have pre-filled array like hello, hi, 欢迎. Okay, ARR3. Okay, like this way. You also have this one is a length property is 3. We'll talk about the length. Okay, so here is the ways you can use array, and to add more elements into the array. Here we learn this one, use index. Okay, use index. You can add more like ARR3 and 0, 1, 2. We add the next one is 3. We add welcome, like this. Okay, and later on we will learn another method to add one. We'll have we'll have 2. The one added to the end, you can use push like 1. It will add into the the end, push to the end. You can also add into the front. We will learn about it in the next video, which is the methods. Okay, so this is how you use array. This one, this one used the most often. Okay, or this way. Okay, which is a square bracket notation. Second topic is to accessing the elements. So now, how to access element? Suppose now I want to access the element. I will use this array 3 as example. Okay, I will remove these 2. I will use this AR3 as let's not remove. Use this one as example. Suppose I want to ask access a particular element. How to access that? You can use the index. Okay. How to do it is like this. Suppose I want to get the first one. You use AR3. First one 0. This one is accessing, and if you're using equal sign, it means reassign the values. So here you will see hello. If I want to get a second one, you use 1 because index started with 0. Hi. Okay, and like that. Let me see if you can use this -1. Okay. Okay, you cannot. Okay. So this is the first way, and the values should be positive. Okay, started from 0. But it has a new method called @, which is it has a new method called @. Okay, @ will accept the negative values. Let me show you. CLG. Let me check this one. Okay. ARR3. Let me see if it can use a positive too. Okay, 0. We will see. Hi, hello. Let me see. This one. This one is hi, right? Hi. Okay. Let me. No. I didn't use AR. @ Okay. Plus ARR3 dot @ 0. Okay, let me see if this one works. Okay, it also can get, but @ have a special one. You can give a negative value, and negative value will start from the end. Suppose I want to get the last element. See here, the last element is 1, right? If I want to get a 1 using the using this bracket notation, you have to do like this way. Last element, you have to do like this way. If I use bracket notation, like you have to use ARR3 dot length and -1. This is how you get the last one. Like a last element is 1, right? And with at, you can use a negative value, at, to get last element. If I remember correctly, this API is added in year 6. Okay, at, and you can give -1, and from, if you do like this way, it can also get the last element. See here, at get the last element, because if you give a negative values, it's gonna be start from the end of the array and go to left, which is -1, -2, -3, like that. Let's take a look at -2. Okay, at -2. If -2, as we predicted, we should see welcome. See here, we will see welcome. So this one is very convenient, because sometimes we want to get the last element, then you don't need to get the length -1. You can directly using -1, right? Then you get the last element. Okay, so anyway, use it if it's convenient to you. Next one is the length property. The length property is not actually how many elements inside the array, because the implementation, okay, on the hood, because implementation, the length property is actually the index plus 1. Let me show you one example, okay, from scratch. The length property demo. Okay, so here I will create another one called the const ARR4 equals. Let me just use like A, B, C, D, and now if we get the length now, we will get what? We will get 4, because we have 4 elements inside the we have 4 elements inside this array, right? Let me add some separations, so we know the outputs what it is. So here we will get a 4. Okay, that's the length. But if I do like this way, ARR4, and I will assign directly using 19 equals, hi, surprise, surprise. Okay, do like this way. Now we print the length again. And here is a surprise. You won't get a 5, even though we know it only has 5 elements, one A, B, C, D, and plus a surprise. But you will see the length is index plus 1. See here, 20. Because if we do like this way, and the array will become look like what? The array become look, and then you will see bunch of undefined. This is called a holy array, and at the end you will have this one 19, which is a surprise being added, like this way. And here the length is actually the last index plus 1, which is the last one is 19, because the index started with 0, right? So length is the index plus 1, so you will get a 20. It's not actually how many elements inside the array. Okay, and let's print the array. I will show you print the array. Okay, therefore you will see it has A, B, C, D, and a bunch of the undefined. Okay, see here, and you will see A, B, C, D, and you will have empty. But empty, if we access, you will get undefined. Let me show you one. We know the 10, this one is undefined, right? See here, you will see undefined. Okay, but when browser display, it says empty here. Empty here. and his total is 15 empties. Okay, so the length property is not actually how many elements inside the array. It's actually the index plus 1, and we will talk about this way is not good. Okay, really bad. We'll talk about this one in the future. Okay, and this is one, the length property. And last one is how to loop an array. We actually have a bunch of ways. Suppose I'm looping array, use this array for. Okay, how to loop? You can have a traditional for loop, like let I equal 0 and I less than ARR4 dot length minus 1 for the length. Okay, I plus plus. Okay, and then we will do what? We will do CLG ARR4, and you can use I, this square bracket notation. You can also use at, doesn't matter. Okay, then let's take a look at, and here your A, B, C, D, and undefined total is 15 times. Okay, because we add 19 here, but we didn't fill in for the those holes. And last one is surprise. This is a way. And the second way we'll use called let of, for of notation. And the for of notation is like this way: for of item of ARR4, and it will directly give you the elements item. And now let's take a look at it one more time, and we will see this part. Let me add a separation here, which is for of. Let me add another one here. Okay, just to have a for loop here. And we can do run again. You will see for of gonna be exactly same as this for loop. ABCD undefined 15 times, and surprise, and here also have 15 times. This is for of. When we use for of, the array or this object or this variable hold the value has to be iterable. We'll talk about it in the future. Okay, and otherwise you cannot use for of. And the last one is a surprise, and we don't not the last one. Okay, the one you can also use for in, and this one is not recommended. Okay, not recommended, but you can do it. Okay, not recommend. The reason is because we will talk about the reason in the future. Okay, the reason why we can use for in, do you remember in the previous videos I talked about objects, and when we want to loop the objects we can use for in. In actually is a property to see in the object. In is an operator to see a property existing inside an array, inside an object or not. And here array is an object. We can use for in, but don't do that. It's gonna be slow down your performance. Okay, let VAL in. Okay, ARR4. Okay, and CLG ARR4, and then VAL. Let's take a look at. I hope I remember correctly. Okay, for in. Okay, for in not recommended. Okay, and but it do have some difference here. We will have A, B, C, D, because this value here, VAL here, this one you will get it 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and you will get it 19. For this VL in, it doesn't have a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 because we have a hole there. Okay, we have a hole. Remember, we have a hole, and with a 4 in, it doesn't have any values, so it didn't print out. You can see it cannot get the 4, 5 tier there. It only because now it will treat this AR when you use 4 in. Okay, it will treat this AR4 as an object, and it doesn't have a property because we have a hole there. That's why you didn't see that undefined. Okay, we can talk about this one in the future, but don't use a for in when you loop an array. It's really bad. Okay, not good. Don't do that, especially if you have a holy array, which is you have a hole inside the array. And last one is the new API called the for each. Okay, which is you can like use. You have to pass a callback function, and the callback function accepts 3 parameters. The first one is a value, second one is index, last one is array. The array will print all the arrays. And additionally, you can give this argument, but normally we don't do that. Okay, I will just do very simple one, which is a callback function, and we will give the first one is item, which is value, and you can have index, you can have a entire array, and then you can I will use arrow function here. Okay, I just do like a C console log. You don't need to actually I don't need to have a brace. Okay, index and AR array. Array will every time array will print entire array, which is in our case the AR4, and this index gonna start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this item is a value in each of the index, which is like this item in the letter of. Okay, now let's take a look at. You'll see here. Let me add another one. CLG for each method. Okay, now let's try see here. You will see A, B, 2, okay, 3, and surprise. Oh, it is still negate the holy ones. Okay, this one I don't know. Okay, because normally I don't do holy array. Okay, and it also it's the same as in and then have the holy arrays. Okay, holy, which is those undefined values here. And take a look at it. You have 0, A, which is the element, and the index is 0, and the entire array being printed. And normally what when I do is I don't need to have the index all the things. Okay, I will do like an item, like a console log item. Most of the time probably you need the item only, but if you need the index and array, just do it. Okay, here you will see A, B, C, D and surprise. So that's the first video. We covered like how to create an array, and we suggest you using this way. And if you have pre-filled, it's better to do like this way, which is have pre-filled arrays instead of assign one by one. And we also talk about the length properties. We also talk about how to access the element in the array. You can use square bracket notation, and make sure when we use square bracket notation, the lowest number is 0. It must start with 0, then accept negative values. And you can also use the method called @. For the @, it can accept a negative value, and it can accept a positive value. Positive value is going to be same as a square bracket. Negative value going to start from the end of the array. And we also covered about length property, which is actually is the index plus 1. And we also cover several ways to do a looping on this array. And this one don't use it, and others you can choose whatever you like. Okay. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.